Hello and welcome. Please feel free to drop what you're working on in the chat. I am currently working on chapter 18 of the Project Daydream first draft. Just lighten my little candle here. Hi, how are you? What are you working on? So excuse me. So I don't know if you saw my little post that I put on the community tab, but I lost my hard drive. My hard drive broke and destroyed all of the footage that I had on my hard drive. And so I basically lost 2 weeks worth of videos. So I'm not going to have a video this Monday, but I will have a video the next Monday. That being said, because I missed, or because all of my footage was lost, you guys wouldn't be able to see the little Bath and Body Works haul that I did. I decided to start writing strictly by hand, but I also went and did a little mini haul at Bath and Body Works to get candles that remind me of the worlds that I'm writing for. So like this one would be for the living world or the awake world. And then I have another one here for the dream world, Wisteria Garden. So it's just scents that kind of remind me of a city, and then one that reminds me of like a dreamy, just like a dreamy scent. So are you going to be joining us for the Pomodoro sprints today? If so, what are you working on? Let me know in the chat. I think I'll probably start a timer soon. Candles are so cool. Sadly, the scented candles are super expensive. Yeah, they are. I luckily had a coupon, so I was like 25% off my whole purchase. I only got the 2 candles, so yeah, this one smells sort of like musky. So I don't know where you live, if you live in a city or whatever, but everybody's probably experienced when you walk by the like shops that are open and you get a smell or like a sudden whiff of something. That's kind of what that candle reminds me of. And then the other one, the Wisteria Garden, just kind of reminds me of like almost like a botanical gardens sort of, which is a very dreamy smell in my opinion. So that's why I picked those. So I'm just lighting them. So I'm chapter 18, which is the chapter that I'm working on right now, is set in like the cityscape. I'm still not sure what I'm calling these, by the way, but it's set in the cityscape. So I am lighting a candle I'm lighting the cityscape candle every single time I start writing for that chapter, and then I blow it out, and I will light the dream candle every single time I write for the dream world. Are you Midnight? Are you looking or working on anything today, Or are you reading or just being productive at home, or are you writing? And how is your weekend going? Let me know. I have had a very busy weekend, actually. So, our neighbor's out of town and asked us to dog sit. And so we're dog sitting. Luckily, we could just keep the dog in his own apartment, and just like let him out and walk him and stuff because our dog is very territorial. It's actually the reason why we only have one, because he can get a little aggressive when there's another dog in his spot or like playing with his toys. So we're dog sitting this weekend, but we also, because we're kind of new to our area, we decided to go for like a little mini adventure yesterday, and we just went kind of like a day out, where we went to, where did we go? We just kind of walked around, like the town over for a little bit. Saw a cute little half-priced bookstore. It's called the dog ear or something, or dog-eared books or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And then we went to Barnes and Noble because we have decided as a couple we're gonna start reading a book together. So like every night before bed, we'll read to each other. Just kind of like for a cute little thing. He's not really huge into reading, as not even close as much as I am. He's more, he likes to tinker with things and invent things. That's his thing. But yeah, we're just kind of working on that together. It's just kind of fun. Um, Midnight says, I am writing today. I have exactly 4K left to write, and then my first draft of my current project is finished. Hey, that is awesome. Great. That is so cool. Do you think you're going to be able to get that 4K done today, or are you going to spread it out over the next few days or few weeks? What's that going to look like for you? I think we could probably start a timer too, just whenever you're ready. I'm kind of I'm kind of ready to get into it. Give me just 1 second. Babe, I wish I just I went to he spent most of his time up on his little pedestal, and he was looking so chill. Yeah. Sorry about that. My boyfriend just came home with our dog. They went to the dog park. Definitely going to try to write the 4K until the end of April, and then going to try to write another 1K today. Okay, that is awesome. That's a great goal to have. I don't know about you, but I am ready to jump in and just do like a quick, like a small Pomodoro sprint. Are you ready? Do you feel ready for that? And if so, how much time do you think you'd like to start with? I'm thinking maybe like 10, 15 minutes. Awesome. Okay. Let's try, I'm thinking let's try maybe a 10-minute timer just to start off with. Hold on one second. Oh, is this one only gonna let me do? Okay, one second. Okay. Awesome. And then we'll just do a short break and then we can jump back in with a longer sprint. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I did not hear the timer go off, but it looks like we are done with our little timer. So, how did you do? I ended up writing about one page in chapter 18. It was an interesting chapter, or it's an interesting page, I guess I should say. Um, I'm really so it's interesting because I am finding myself taking on the voice and writing style of the books that I'm reading right now, and I think that's pretty normal. But I'm reading very different books by very different authors at the moment, so it's just very mix mismatched. So I'm reading right now. I'm reading Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and I'm also reading Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. So it's like a different. It's just very odd. By the way, what are you reading right now? If you're reading anything, what are you reading? And are you also like that where you kind of read multiple things by different people at the same time? Because I'm actually currently reading 3 books, or I mean, technically, I could say that I'm reading 4 books right now, 2 of which are on the back burner. So I'm also technically reading Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, which I have been reading that book on and off for like 6 months. And then I'm also reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And then those other 2 that I mentioned. So yeah, it's really, really bad. I really just need to stick with one book and finish it because I could probably read way more doing that. But I just, yeah, I just don't do that. So, and you say you ended up writing about 449 words on the computer. Hey, that is awesome. That is such a good job. 449 words in just 10 minutes. That's kind of awesome. So are you thinking that maybe we should do a little bit of a longer sprint? Because I kind of got into a flow state and it sounds like you got a lot done. I would like to kind of take advantage of that and write a little bit more. What are we thinking? Also, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's actually Neil Gaiman. I'm going to be doing a Neil Gaiman's writing routine video at some point in the near future, by the way. But he likes to write with fountain pens, which I don't have, but he did also mention in his writing routine that he likes to write with different colored pens every single time he starts writing. He'll write in different colored pens. I found that really interesting. Okay, we've got about a minute left, minute and a half. Midnight, are you thinking a longer sprint would work for you? Definitely like a longer sprint. Awesome. Me too. I also would like a longer sprint. Are you reading anything right now, Midnight? What are you reading? If you are. And also, who's your favorite author? Or what's your favorite book? Because I don't know about you, but I really have a hard time nailing down what I like. I have like a childhood favorite. I really love like James and the Giant Peach and Charlotte's Web. Those are probably like my favorite books growing up, like as a child. But I can't for the life of me figure out what my favorite book was when I was a teenager. And even now, I have no idea what my favorite book is or even my favorite author. It's weird. I would say probably, well, maybe Hunger Games, but At least when I was like a teenager, that was probably my favorite. All right. Why don't we try for a 30 minutes sounds a little long. Like, let's try 20 minutes, 25 minutes. No favorite books. If I really have to think about it. Okay. Let's see. It's hard, isn't it? Like, there's so many good books. It's really, really hard to pick. Okay, so I think Matt Haig is probably my favorite author, or maybe Alex E. Haro. But I don't have like, but I really like 10,000 Doors of January, but I also really like Midnight Library. But then there's the Hunger Games, and I really like those. It's just so hard to pick. Just so, so hard to pick. I think we should do a 20-minute. Oh, that was loud. I think we should do a 20-minute sprint. I think. So if you're ready, also if you can hear the panting, I'm so sorry about that. My dog's in here and he's a heavy breather. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to write in 3, 2. Well, let me actually share the screen first. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. I need to. Okay, so we're going to write in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. All right, and that is 20 minutes. How did everyone do? I managed to write another 2 pages. So I'm kind of on a roll this morning. I didn't think that I would be because, to be honest with you, I have had kind of a long writing break just with everything that happened with my hard drive. It was kind of, it was pretty stressful. I did have like, it wasn't just my footage on there that I lost, but it was also a lot of like pictures and stuff that I lost. And I also got a job finally. So I've just been kind of like getting into a new schedule. And I haven't really been dedicating as much time to writing as I would like to these last 2 weeks. I'm hoping that that's going to change in the near future. I'm going to be making it more of a priority. That said, I am very surprised at my progress so far this morning. I already have like 3 pages written. So, how did everyone do? And I think we have a new person kind of watching right now. What are you working on? Let us know what you're working on. Let us know what you're reading this week. And yeah, let's have a little bit of a chat. We've got about 8 minutes before we will start up on another writing sprint, and I'm thinking we'll probably do another 20 minutes. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab some water. I will be right back. All right, I am back. Midnight says 710 words written. Thank you so much for the sprint so far. You are so welcome. Yeah, that is awesome. That's great progress. You have, if I'm not mistaken, you've made your 1,000. You've made your 1,000 word goal. That's kind of awesome. That's great. Another thing, I'm so disappointed about my footage being lost because you guys now have no idea where I'm at, like progress wise in my manuscript. But I, in what would have been the last vlog, I wrote like 4 chapters. I'm currently writing chapter 18. I'm also not focusing so much on word counts and more focusing on time spent writing and just trying to enjoy the process because I'm getting, I feel like when I get so focused on word counts, I kind of, it's not that I don't write good words. It's more just like I kind of stop focusing so much on that. Like I should be focusing more on enjoying it and less on getting as much done as possible. And it says, I think I'm gonna stretch that goal to 2K. So sorry about all the progress you lost. Oh yeah, that's kind of awesome. You're gonna stretch it out to 2K. I think you could do it. You've been making huge progress already this morning, so I think you could do that 2K for sure. And as far as all the progress, yeah, I know it sucks. It's not great. I really wish that I hadn't lost all of that footage. Luckily, I did save a little, just like a little section of what I had originally planned to be in this last vlog. It's basically just the recap of everything that I did. So you guys will be able to kind of sort of see that, but it's not it's not exactly what I was hoping the vlog would be. Which kind of sucks because I was really, really excited about this one. I don't know if any of you guys make videos, but some of the vlogs, like, I'm not really very happy with. And then there's others that I'm really excited about. And this was one that I was really excited about. So it's just a little disappointing. I did make considerable progress though. There's also a little part that would have been in there that you missed. But because I've been writing by hand, and I think I'm probably going to just be fast drafting by hand going forward, but because I'm writing by hand, because it is such a slow process to write by hand, it gives my brain a little bit more time to think about what's going on. And so I had so many and I'm also a headlights writer, so I only see so much of what's going to happen in front of me, and sometimes it changes. So as I was writing, I had so many little like writer plot twists for myself. It wouldn't be a plot twist for you guys, just for me, because I'm thinking that it's going in one direction and then it turns around and goes in a different direction, but in a direction that makes more sense than it was before. I don't know if that makes any sense. But it's very fun to write by hand for that reason. Have any of you guys tried to do that before? Let me know. We've got a couple people in here. What are you guys working on? Feel free to drop that in the chat. Be excited to hear from you guys. Midnight, what's your manuscript about, if you don't mind sharing? Like, what kind of project are you working on? You like writing fantasy? Are you writing sci-fi, contemporary? What are you working on? Okay, Midnight says, I've written so many scripts when I was younger, and when I try writing by hand now, my hand starts brutally aching after 10 minutes. Yeah, I get that. I much prefer computer now that I have 24 access to one. Absolutely, I totally understand. I literally grab like I white knuckle my pens. And I write so hard sometimes that I literally rip the paper as I'm writing. It's terrible. My hand always hurts when I write, even if it's just 5 minutes, just because I'm like, it's like a vice grip. But I get the preference for writing by computer. It's just, I think maybe it's because I have ADHD. Having it in my hand, it almost is like, it makes it less distracting than writing by computer. We're writing high fantasy horror, Wow. Writing high fantasy horror, currently working on the first book out of 3. Super excited about this series. That is awesome. High fantasy horror, interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm definitely going to want to learn more about this project. It sounds really fun. All right, I think I'm ready for another 20-minute sprint. I think we could get started on that in 3, 2, 1. Right, and good luck. Okay, everyone. That marks 20 minutes. How did everybody do? I managed to write another 1.5 pages. I did have to take a little bit of a bathroom break. Um, and I'm just going to finish this sentence really quick. I did take a little bit of a bathroom break, so I wasn't able to um, utilize the whole 20 minutes, but I feel like this morning I am just on a roll. I've already written 3, 4, 4.5 pages this morning. Granted, it is like little pages, but still, I just feel like I love it when that happens, when you sit down to write and you just get so much done, so much more than you were expecting. But how did everybody do on this sprint? Are you counting words like midnight is, or are you counting pages? Do you just counting time? Do you not do that? What does that look like for you? And what are you working on? If you haven't said so in the chat yet, please do that. Love to see you guys participate, and have be a part of the chat and everything. I'd like to hear what you guys are working on as well. Even if you're not writing, if you're just reading or, cleaning up around the house, what are you guys doing? What are you working on today? I did also start a new chapter. So in not this last sprint, but the sprint before, I managed to finish chapter 18. And so I am now working on chapter 19. I am working in Alyssa's perspective. Unfortunately, because I keep going back to this because so much happened in the last vlog. So disappointing that we missed it, but so much happened in the last vlog. So I am kind of like farther ahead, and the two protagonists in my story have now met each other. So there was like a little meet cute situation happening in the dream world. They've met each other now, and currently I'm writing in Alyssa's perspective, where she is actually trying to find Kai in the real world. So very interesting stuff happening in my manuscript right now. It's just a shame that you guys aren't going to be able to see that actually unfold on the video, but that's okay. That's not a problem. We'll just pick up where we left off here. So, all right, come on. Let's hear what you guys are working on. How did everyone do? Let me know in the chat. Midnight says, wow, I'm in the flow. I am in the flow right now. I wrote a total of 913 words in this one sprint. Hey, that is awesome. Midnight, congratulations. That is huge. That's fantastic progress. You were almost to your second goal. I think Midnight, if you could push it, you could probably get that 4,000 words done today. These sprints are helping so much. That is awesome. I'm so glad that they're helping. That is fantastic. Feel free, if you want to divulge more details about your manuscript, like what kind of high fantasy it is, like what's the premise, I guess. You can if you aren't comfortable doing that, don't worry about it. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you're working on, guys. That is awesome. And I can't wait to see it. So even though I'm not focusing right now so much on word count, I am really excited to see, after I type everything up into the actual document, how much I actually wrote, because I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 pages. But I don't know. My handwriting is weird because sometimes I'll write really, really small, and then other times I'll write really big. And then I also go from like writing in cursive to writing in just print. So I don't know exactly. My handwriting is so weird. I'll also sometimes write in all lowercase, and then I'll switch to like writing in all caps. Does anyone else do that? Or is it just me? Am I just weird? I'm probably just weird. But Yeah, 913 words midnight. That is kind of insane. I feel like you need like, I don't know, just a round of applause because that is awesome. I know for sure that I did not even come close to 913 words this sprint. All right, we have 4 minutes left on our little break. I will be right back. I'm getting a phone call. I will be right back um for the next sprint. I'm thinking another 20 minutes because I'm just like I feel like we're kind of all on a roll right now, at least me and Midnight are. Feel free. I know we have two other people watching right now. Feel free to drop that in the comments. How are you guys doing? Let us know. Um, but I will be right back for that next sprint. Hopefully before that. Midnight says, "Oh my goodness, I have a total of 2K left in my manuscript now. Might just finish my book tomorrow." I think that is I think you're doing really great, Midnight. You are doing fantastic. And I think you could definitely finish it tomorrow. All right, I will be right back. Oh my goodness. So, right. My boyfriend just had to call me because he took the dog park this morning, and now he's taking him on a hike. But he wanted to get him a new leash, and he was calling me to see if I had an opinion on what leash to get. Anyways, Midnight says, "Thank you so much for the live stream, Charlie. Unfortunately, I have to go now, but it was so much fun. Until next time." All right, well, goodbye. You did such great work today, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining. All right, I am going to go ahead and start another 20-minute timer. For those of you who are still here, feel free to let me know in the comments what you are working on. Be happy to hear from you. In the meantime, I guess let's do another 20-minute sprint, and we will go in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Okay. Looks like our 20-minute timer is done. I'm going to set a 10-minute timer for our break here, and then we'll pop into one more writing sprint, I think. We've got a new person here in the chat, Bugsy Bug YT. And they are working on a high fantasy book while having this open and listening to music that fits the scene. Hey, that is awesome. That is awesome. What kind of scene are you working on right now? And also, high fantasy book, are you working on? Is this more like a YA fantasy book, or are you looking or working on more of an adult fantasy book? Let us know in the chat. I had a very, very productive writing sprint. I ended up writing about 2.5 pages. So really, really awesome. And I am coming up on a point in my manuscript where if you are just popping in, I mentioned earlier in the sprint that my two main characters for my manuscript, Kai and Alyssa, have now met for the very first time in the dream world, and now they are waking up from that dream that they had, and they are going to meet in person soon. A lot is happening. I am currently working on chapter 19, so it is moving along very, very quickly. So if you are in the chat or if you are in the live stream, please feel free in the chat. Let us know what you're working on. How'd you do this last sprint? Bugsy Bug says, it's a young adult and I'm working on a chapter where two characters who are having conflicting thoughts about stuff are trapped in a small area and have to talk about their problems. Fun stuff. That sounds really exciting. Are you working on your first draft, or is this like a draft where you're farther in? Where are you at currently? And also, oh, it's young adult. Okay. Awesome. Great. Are you kind of at the very beginning of the chapter or of the book, or are you kind of working in the middle, or are you close to the end of your project? I am like coming up on the midpoint right now in my manuscript. Like I said, I'm on chapter 19. I'm not sure exactly how many chapters are going to be in this manuscript because I'm not plotting it out. So it could literally be anywhere between like 20. No, it's probably going to be more than 20. Probably anywhere between like 30 and like 50 chapters at the rate that I'm going. It's so bad. Again, this is the first draft, so I'll probably tidy that up and condense it more in later drafts, but right now it's going to be a lot. Bugsy Bug, I'm at the point where I've drafted it all and I'm writing it out. I've been practicing jumping around my favorite chapters that I'm excited to write for motivation. Awesome. That's a great idea. I think to jump around to different chapters or different scenes that you're really excited about working on, because then it'll kind of keep you going. Some small stuff might change, like little details for, I'm pretty sure how most of it's going to stay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I get what you mean, little details changing. I think for the most part, at least because I'm writing the first draft, a lot of it's going to change, like probably most of it. But I think the main premise and the storyline are definitely going to stay the same. Bruh, I just realized I did it. Fair. It happens. It happens. Yeah, I totally get that, little things changing, things staying the same. My main premise is going to stay the same, I think, but pretty much everything else is going to be rewritten because like it's so bad. It's just really bad. The writing is for sure subpar, but it's fine because it's just a first draft. Like That's the thing about first drafts is like you have to be careful about rereading things that you've written already because at least for me, I will literally delete everything or just like rip it up since I'm writing it by hand. I will rip it up and just forget about it. Try to rewrite it a million times probably. But I think because I'm like trying to be really strict about myself not rereading everything so that I'm not tempted to scrap it and change everything right now. First drafts are meant to be bad. So I'm totally I'm totally okay with just leaving it the way that it is. So, at least for now. We've got a few other people in here. I'm thinking that in the next sprint, I'm probably gonna do a small writing sprint, probably like 10 minutes just to wrap it up because we've been kind of going at this for around 2 hours now. The casual problem of rewriting something again and again for perfection until you give up on the story. Yeah, no kidding. I've done it a few times and it's really annoying. Yeah, it is. It is really annoying, isn't it? Because then it's like we are working so hard on getting it done, but because you're so focused on making it perfect, you literally get nothing done. Even though you sit there and you work on it for hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years, it just never gets done because it's never going to be perfect, right? Like it's just never going to be perfect. And so that's why not rereading things that I've already written is a huge role, especially in a first draft. Obviously, I'm gonna have to reread this to rewrite it, but that then it makes sense to reread it, right? But while I'm working on it, before I actually write the end on the first draft, no rereading, except to figure out where I'm at, to like pick up where I left off. So how does like a 10-minute sprint sound to everybody? Let me know. We're almost finished with our break. And then I was thinking we do a quick 10-minute sprint to kind of wrap it up and then kind of chat about how we did and everything at the end. Let me know what you guys think about that. Does 10 minutes work for everybody? Sounds good. Also, how often do you do these streams? So I'm thinking I'm going to be making this more of a regular thing on the channel. I've done a few in the past, and I did one last week on Thursday. I'm thinking I'm probably going to, I might do them twice a week going forward, but I'm going to rotate the days so that people who may not be able to join on one day can potentially join on another day, um, and everything. So I'm thinking I'll probably do it that way moving forward. So probably like once, twice a week, just depends on the week, really. All right. Is everybody ready for one last writing sprint? 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we will write in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Okay. Okay. How did everybody do on that sprint? I managed to write barely anything. I think I probably, well, let's see. Um, I wrote probably about another half a page, which makes my total for this stream. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 pages. Just gonna finish the sentence. Okay. Okay. So, during the chat, I was talking with Bugsy a little bit. Said that they'll join as often as they can. That's kind of awesome. And yeah, we were talking a little bit about how they like how I'm interacting in the chat. I do really like to see what everybody is working on, and kind of make this more of a conversation because, like I was telling Bugsy, it just is more fun when people participate in the chat, so that we can, kind of get to know each other a little bit. Low pressure. You don't have to like give us all the secrets of your manuscript or what you're working on away, but it's just fun to have a conversation about it. So Bugsy says she got pretty far into writing a chapter, and I'm pretty sure I'm about 1/3 done with the book. That is awesome. That is great progress. Any progress is great progress, you guys. I know, I think we were talking a little bit about this in the last stream that I did, but I know it is easy to get pulled into, thinking about it in terms of word count, but it's just a lot better to think about how much fun you're having and doing your projects, writing, reading, whatever it is that you're working on. It's just a lot better to think about things in terms of how much fun you're having with it, and instead of focusing so much on word counts. But it is nice to know the word count so you know where you're at in the manuscript, as long as we're not focusing on that solely, right? What do you guys think about that? I feel like I've just kind of I'm just whipping through this draft. I really truly believe that. I have been okay, so I haven't been consistent at all writing. Like I'm not writing every single day or even like most days out of the week. But I so far this month have written probably like at least, well, actually, no, I've written over now 15,000 words, I'm pretty sure. Um, which is kind of nuts. But I'm just moving so far so quickly in this manuscript compared to my previous work, which I don't know how many or if you were here at all when I was working on Project Elf Years, but that was a project that I had been working on for a really long time. And I felt like the progress with that one was so slow, like painfully slow. And now that I'm working on Project Daydream, everything is going so fast that I feel like I can't even keep up with my own writing. It's weird. But I'm really enjoying the process with this book, with this project. And I cannot wait to finish this. I feel like I'm probably even though things are going really quickly, and even though I'm probably I would say probably about halfway through the first draft of this manuscript, or close to halfway through, close to the halfway point. Even though that's the case, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm farther ahead than I actually am, but I also feel like I'm probably going to finish the first draft of this within the next month or 2. Like, my goal for April camp was to write 80,000 words. That definitely I didn't even get close to that, which is typical, really. But I still made significant progress. So I'm pretty proud of where I'm at right now. Bugsy says, I can't wait to see how your story turns out. It sounds really neat. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm having so much fun with this one. Just so much fun. All because I'm just letting myself write the way that I like to write instead of forcing myself into outlining, forcing myself to have it structured in a certain way. I'm just letting myself have fun and get it done. And it's been a much more enjoyable process because of that. And I'm also trying really hard to go back to how I used to write, which writing by hand. I used to write every study hall free period that I had in high school. Even at home, I had notebooks upon notebooks full of like short stories and things. And writing by hand has always been something that's been really helpful for me. But also, it's just more fun than writing on it. Writing on the computer just seems so, um, I don't know, it's just not as personal for me. So, anyways, I just really like to write by hand, and I'm having a lot of fun with this project too. So very, very happy with it so far. How did you do? What is your goal for the day, Bugsy, for your writing? Do you have like a specific goal that you'd like to accomplish in your manuscript today? I personally am trying to. This week, I've set a goal to write um, finished chapter 18, 19, 20, and 21. And I finished chapter 18 during the sprint. I'm currently working on chapter 19, and I'm actually almost done with chapter 19. So I think I'm probably going to make that goal this week. And everybody else who's just popped in, let us know your goals for the week and what you're going to be doing as far as what you're writing, things like that. Let us know in the chat. Bugsy says, I try to be pretty chill and just write when I feel like it so I don't get burnt out. I'm already at about 29,000 words, and I'm hoping to finish the book by around May or June. That is awesome. And it sounds like you're kind of more of a mood writer, which is fantastic. I love writing in the mood because I feel like when you're writing in the mood, at least for me, I tend to get way more done because I'm just like more excited to do it. And it's also great doing it so you don't get burnt out. I just know for me personally, if I were to just strictly write when I'm in the mood only, I would never be in the mood for it. So I would never get it done, which is stupid because I love writing so much. But honestly, it's one of those things for me, at least recently, where I'm not excited to do it until I'm working on it. And then I start having fun while I'm doing it. And so I'm trying to make it more of a habit for myself. That being said, you're at 29,000 words, which is kind of epic. That's huge. So, hi, Midnight, you're back. That's awesome. We are actually just wrapping up the last little sprint. But I know you made some gigantic progress earlier. So feel free to, if you've been working on it since you had to pop out, let us know how you did. Booksy says, welcome back. Um, it's been such a fun writing sprint, or writing live stream. I feel like I just got so much done. Like I said, like 7.5 pages. I did pretty good this live stream. And I'm not even done because I'm filming today. So I have some more writing to do later, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and maybe do some reading. Like I was mentioning earlier, I'm currently reading 4 books, which is, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I'm currently reading one with my boyfriend and I are reading Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. So like at the end of the night, we sit and we read to each other. It's just a new thing that we're trying. And then on my off time, I'm listening to Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. And then I'm also reading Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune and A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So I don't know why I do this to myself because I'll read one and then I'll hop to another, but then it takes me forever to finish all of them. So, what are you guys reading right now? Let me know. My hair is getting so long. You see this? It looks so short when it's curly, but it's actually, when it's straight, it's in the middle of my back. It's kind of nuts. I've been rereading The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Okay, I've never heard of that one, so I'm gonna have to look that up. It sounds interesting for sure. I'm gonna look that up right now because I'm curious. I can't help myself. The Girl Who Drank the Moon. You haven't heard of it, it's really underrated and good in my opinion, very fantasy. No, I haven't heard of it. I feel like when it comes to books, okay, so I don't wanna say, like, I live under a rock, but pretty close. Like, I go onto Goodreads and I browse and stuff, and I go to the library and to the bookstores a lot, but I tend to stick to, like, certain sections. So when new books come out, I kind of, like, in different genres or, like, different areas, like, if it's, like, a children's fantasy, for example, I might not see it until, like, years later. But I just looked this up, and first of all, I love the cover. That's super cute. And secondly, I haven't read the synopsis, but it's I see a witch, dragon. Uh, I see a lot of things here that I am interested in reading. I'm gonna put it on my want to read list. Midnight says, I've seen The Girl Who Drank the Moon in our library here. Not sure if I've read it before, but can definitely remember the cover. It is a cute cover, right? It is a really cute cover. Definitely. Also, please stop adding to my TBR. Maybe I should have asked because I honestly I have how many books do I have on my TBR right now? I have way too many books on my TBR. I have okay, where I have 488 books on my TBR right now. It's bad. And I work through them so slowly, like I said, because I read like 4 books at a time. It's terrible. So anyways, I think that we're gonna end it here because I think we've all had a very good writing sprint, and it's been about 2.5 hours. So Midnight says, wait, actually, I think I did read it. I remember the story now. Definitely a good book. 488, yes, because I'm a psychopath. That's terrible. It's really bad. Honestly, it's terrible. It's really bad. Bugsy said it's a really good book. Yeah. I've added it to my TBR, so I'm excited to read it. Really sad near the end. I don't like sad books, but I'll give it a go. Yeah, I used to work I used to work in a customer service job and like call centers. And so in between calls, I would read and I was moving through my TBR super, super fast. And then I stopped working customer service jobs. And so I had to stop reading at work because my new job, I couldn't do it anymore. And I ended up just adding a bunch of books to my TBR and not even getting close to finishing nearly any of them that I wanted to. So yeah, it's just piled up and piled up, and now I have 488 books on there. A lot of which I have here in my home, like physical books, but I don't actually have very many. Like, I think I've probably got maybe like 20 physical books, and then I have a lot on my Kindle, and then I have a lot on Amazon, or not Amazon, Audible. So, sad in a bittersweet way. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's bittersweet endings. I never know how to feel. Like I just want to like when I read a book that's got a bittersweet ending, like it confuses me. I never know how to feel after that. Like, am I sad or happy? Because it's like both. And I don't know. It's just I hate feeling like that. All right, guys. I think that's gonna be the end of it. We've been at this for 2.5 hours now. So I'm ready for a break, like like a long break. I'm gonna get some lunch and maybe go for a walk and listen to my audiobook for a little bit. And then get back to work. So thanks for the live stream. Thank you for coming, Midnight. Thank you for coming, Bugsley, and everybody else who is here and not necessarily talking in the chat. Thank you again. Have a wonderful time. Was that a typo? Have a wonderful time. Is that what you meant? You also have a wonderful time if that is what you meant. Gosh, people are honking out there and peeling out of the parking lot right now. All right, guys, I will see you next time. I think the next live stream is going to be, I'll have to check my schedule, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be either Wednesday or Thursday next week. Oh, no, it's because people have different time zones, so I say, oh, okay. Just right over my head. So I'm thinking that the next live stream is going to be Wednesday or Thursday next week. Like, because if you say have a wonderful day, it's nice for some people. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. So I'm thinking by the way for the live streams, I'm probably going to do one during the week and then one on the weekend. It will never be a Saturday though because I'm far too busy on Saturdays to do a live stream on a Saturday. So it'll be like Sunday and then like one day during the week, but I'll probably like alternate times just so that everybody can kind of join in when they're ready to or when they can. Afternoon here, yeah. It is 11:30 in the morning for me. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for coming and participating in the chat. I love hearing from you guys and like chatting back and forth and having this be more of a conversation than just me because it kind of feels like I talk to myself sometimes when people don't participate. So, I really appreciate you guys leaving the comments in the live chat. Thank you so much for coming. And hopefully, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or time zone, Pugsy. And I will see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye. See you guys later.